It may be November, but am I still drinking out of my ghost mug? Yes, I am. Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my channel if you are new here. My name is Kristen Martin. I'm the indie author of 10 books and counting. I am a writing coach, a content creator, a new mom, and today we are going to be continuing the little video series that I am calling the NaNoWriMo Diaries. And just in case you missed the recap last week where I lost my WIP, my work in progress, I'll go ahead and link that in the cards for you. But today we will be recapping how week 2 of writing of NaNoWriMo went, as well as talking about something that I have absolutely fallen in love with, which is digital storyboarding. And that brings me to the sponsor of today's video, which is Scrintal. So the Scrintal app is essentially a visual notebook. It's a digital canvas that allows you to convert your creative ideas into structured knowledge. It uses visual note-taking to capture creative ideas using a canvas, boards, and cards, visually link related ideas to better structure your thoughts, reuse your ideas over and over, and if you happen to be co-authoring a book with someone or collaborating perhaps with an editor, you can share and collaborate in real time, which I think is really, really neat. So if you've been around for a while, you will know that I have shared my storyboarding methods in the past, which usually involved me getting a large poster board and a bunch of different colored note cards and sitting on the ground and just writing away on my note cards and lining everything up, laying everything out. But also if you've been here for a bit, especially over this past year, you will know that I have a baby girl now, baby Ivy, and she's 4 months old at the time of filming this, which is crazy to say. But contact naps are still very much a thing. They are the norm. And so I'm not really, like the days of sitting at my desk with pen and paper, we're just not in that season of life right now. So because of that, I have been looking for a way to bring all aspects of my book projects into the digital space. I started storyboarding my books in Scrintal and fell in love with the process, the design, the ease, the flexibility, everything about it. Because it's such a valuable tool for writers, I want to walk you through my Scrintal canvas for my 6-book series called Shadow Crown. So when you first open Scrintal, one of the first things you'll notice is the navigation menu on the left-hand side. So under the browse section, we have cards, boards, tags, and web links. Now, if we go into my boards, you will see I have quite a few boards made. So I have a character profiles board, a magic systems board, settings and locales, a character tree. This example board is nothing we need to worry about. It's just an example to show me how to do all of this. The book 6 storyboard, as well as a board for the entire Shadow Crown series. So if we go ahead and click into the Shadow Crown series board, you will see that it does look a bit sparse, and that is because I'm currently in the process of moving all of the physical storyboards from books 1 through 5 into Scrintal. But here is where you're able to double click and open up the card, and this is where I could have all of the information about book 1. Same with book 2 for Renegade Crew, open that up. And right here you'll see too, these are the tags that I was talking about before. So if you have multiple book projects, you can just use a tag with the title of the book. And so that way, when you go to search in the search bar, anything that is under the Shadow Crown tag is going to pop up. So it makes it really easy to search. But I'll go ahead and show you my digital storyboard for book 6, or at least how I have laid it out, because I can't show you what is actually going to be typed into those cards so as to not spoil anything, because it is the last book in the series. But this is how the digital storyboard is going to be set up for all of the books. So at the very top here, you can see I have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, and then I also have all of the characters' points of view that are in the Shadow Crown series. So you'll see for Arden, we have Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. So each of these characters have an Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 card. So for each character, this is where I would briefly summarize the events of each act within their respective cards. And what I especially love about this layout is that the cards can be linked. So say there is some foreshadowing for Arden. So we're just going to type in foreshadowing, oops, if I can spell, foreshadowing event 1. So if this is something that I want to link, I can do that. Let's say it happens in Surlia's act in one of her chapters all the way in Act 3. So I'm actually able to link that foreshadowing event, link it to the Act 1 card. And as you can see now, there is this nice line showing me that there is something going on in between these two cards. So the other great thing about this too is that you can color code the cards as well. So this is where we can change the color. So say I have all of Arden's, you know, in like this blue color, very visually appealing for storyboarding. So I really enjoy the fact that you can link the cards because it serves as a great visual reminder, and I'm a very visual person. And then taking this a step further when you're writing a series, and you can see how helpful this linking function can be to ensure that all of your foreshadowing and your loose ends are tied up when they need to be. So this is how I am laying out my digital storyboard for all of the books. If we go back into my boards, and again, click on the one titled Shadow Crown Series, it takes us to the 6 separate cards for each book. And so here is where I could actually open this up and I could type in that particular board. So I could type in book, oops, I have to do the plus sign first, book 6, and that here you can see the storyboard. So I can go ahead and tag that here. And what's really nice about doing this is I can scroll, and then if I want to get to that link, I just click on it and then it opens up its Scrintal. So again, this linking function is going to save me so much time when it comes to storyboarding, especially when it's such a large series, a 6-book series. So in going back into that Shadow Crown series board, this is where I'm going to have all of my storyboards linked, like the one that I just showed you. And also just the character profiles, the setting and locale boards, the magic system boards, anything that is relevant can be linked here. And it's really anything that I would like to be able to reference with just the click of a button, because as you can see, that's how easy this actually is. So let's click into my character tree board. Let's go ahead and go into the boards and character tree. Now this one, I'm going to stay super zoomed out. So you can see here on the right, there's a whole bunch of character names here. And so I know it's zoomed out, and that's on purpose because a lot of these characters, as you can see, are very, very interconnected. And so I don't want to zoom in and ruin anything because there are things that are just now being revealed in books 5 and 6, which haven't been released yet. So we're going to keep it zoomed out. But as you can see, if you narrow your eyes, you can see how all of these cards are linked together, how all of these characters are linked together. So I also really like it for the character tree function, because again, this is very visually appealing, and all I have to do is follow the line to remember how everyone is connected, because as you can see, it is quite intricate and there's a lot to remember. So again, Scrintal is serving as a wonderful reminder as to how everyone is connected in my story. Another really neat feature about Scrintal is that you can import your archives from other tools like Notion and Obsidian. So if you use either of those programs and you have some of your notes for your book projects in there, you can actually import them into Scrintal, which I think is amazing. You can also embed any PDF or media file. So I'm using this just as an example because this is still a work in progress, but you can actually put your character avatars into your boards as well. So just as an example, we have Arden O'Leary here. I'm still working on the AI characters because I used to use a different software for this. So I'm still trying to get the AI portion of this exactly right, because her eyes are more of a piercing green, and everything else is correct about her except for her eye color. So I'm still working on that a little bit. And then like, here's an example of Aldrada Tymond, which this would be her when she was much younger, right? So I'm still trying to like work through exactly how to get the AI to make my characters look the way that I envision them in my mind. But I really like the fact that in Scrintal, you can upload your character avatars, and that way you can have everything again in one place, easily searchable, all of that. So not only is there an infinite digital canvas, but Scrintal also acts as a single archive to search all of your notes and tags, which you can do with the spotlight function. So if I just type in, you know, Shadow Crown, anything that has the Shadow Crown tag, which is everything that you just saw, it's all here. It's all right here. So I can just click on it. So that makes it so easy instead of having to flip through loose leaf sheets of paper and notebooks and trying to find, you know, physical tabs. This just makes things a million times easier. I also really appreciate that there are 2 display modes. So if we go into the settings and you click on, I can click on dark mode here, make this the background dark, kind of like putting your MacBook or your desktop or whatever into dark mode. So I really like to use this at night. And I also find that the colors, like if I go back into the character tree, the colors really do pop more against the dark mode. So I like that you can either choose light mode or dark mode. Go ahead and switch it back to light mode because I feel like it is quite dark in my office. But again, having those different color cards as well, being able to color coordinate things is perfect for digital storyboarding. I cannot recommend Scrintal enough, especially if you are a very visual person where you like to see how everything is laid out, how all of your ideas are connecting. I truly believe that Scrintal is a must-have tool for writers. If you want to give digital storyboarding a try, you can use my discount code with Scrintal, which is Kristen10 for 10% off, or just follow the link in the description box below to have that 10% discount automatically applied. Don't wait too long though, because that discount code expires mid-December of this year. I'd like to thank Scrintal for partnering with me on today's video and for making digital storyboarding a reality. And while we're on the topic of writing, let's go ahead and get into this week 2 recap of NaNoWriMo and see how I did. Her watching Denali. Who is that? Oh, who is that? Is that Nolly? Is that Denali? Yeah. All right, NaNoWriMo week 2 update. So I'm filming this on Monday, November 13th. So technically we're not quite at the 2-week mark. So, but by the time you all see this video, it will be just like, I think like a day past 2 weeks. But I hit the 31% mark in terms of my progress. So I've written 15,579 words so far. So we're halfway through. You okay? And so again, if I were doing the 1,667 words a day, then I should be kind of at that halfway point of 25,000 words. But I'm not doing that. I am doing my word count. Snowball. Snowball. Do, 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 do. Yeah, that's where we're at. I don't know if you are going to be able to see my nice... No, we're not going to be able to see that. I'll put my little chart on the screen so that way you can kind of... Okay, I'll put my progress chart on the screen so you can just see. It's so satisfying to just see the bar going up and up and up. So that's my progress so far. We are on track. I've somehow managed to stay fully updated with my outline, which is something that's really difficult for me to do because I just want to keep writing the chapters. And, ooh, that was a good burp. Since I'm more of a pantser now, especially as I'm writing the middle chapters of the book, I notice it's better to just let the ideas come to me. So I have an idea of where the story is going, but in terms of the actual events that are taking place and driving the story forward, I really like to pants that piece of it. I feel like it's just more exciting that way for me as a writer. So like I was talking about in Scrintal, I recently discovered the AI software where you can make your character avatars, and it's actually been really difficult to find photos of like real life people, because what I was doing was taking celebrities, like 4 or 5 different celebrities, and the AI would mesh all of their faces together. I'm like, well, maybe this will give me what I'm looking for. And it really didn't. So instead, I've just been on Pinterest looking up like fantasy art, like queen fantasy art, king fantasy art. That's what I've been typing into the Pinterest search box. And I've actually had a lot of images come up that have been generated by AI that other users have just uploaded. So I wanted to share a few that I have found, because I cannot believe that some of these, without me even having to put it together into AI software, I've been able to find pretty much the exact replica of the image that I have in my head for some of my characters. So this is Arden. This is one that I found of her that I just think it's so accurate. You know, again, the eyes need to be more emerald, more of that piercing green, but in terms of her face structure, her facial structure, this is exactly how I imagine her to look. The character art that I found for Aldreda Tymond was also just like, oh my gosh, not only for Aldreda, but also for Darius. And then putting the two side by side and like they're married, oh my gosh, it's exactly how I pictured them in my mind. Clive Ridley, the caster in The King's Savant, is another character that I just wasn't sure I was going to be able to find artwork for, and then I did. And it's crazy because it is literally exactly how I describe him in the Shadow Crown series, and I did not come up with this artwork. This is just what I found on Pinterest, and oh my gosh, if that is not him to a T, I don't know what is. So Felix Barlow is another character I found where this is exactly how I imagine his face to look like, just maybe with different hair. So slightly scruffier hair, like in this piece of artwork. And then Queen Surlia Jareth of Sardoria is another character where when I found this artwork, I was like, oh my gosh, that is her. That is her. As soon as I saw it, I was like, that is Surlia. At this point, I feel like I'm taking you through all the characters, but the artwork for Opal Marston was also really spot on, as well as for Estelle Chatham and Lane Duvall, because Estelle and Lane are cousins. So anyways, I'm having a lot of luck on Pinterest finding character avatars, and it's been really fun to search for this artwork, because again, as I'm coming across some of these characters, I'm like, oh, that's this person, that's this person. I just wanted to share because it's been really fun, and it's been something I've been adding into my Scrintal board for all of my different character profiles. Well, I'm making a big mess. We're making a big mess. Here she goes, walking around town. Here she goes, walking around town. Yeah, walking around town. We have a reader in the making. Ivy, you looking through your book? So that is going to conclude today's video. Thank you so much for coming along with me for this week 2 recap of NaNoWriMo. I hope if you are participating that things are going well. We still have half the month left, so a lot can happen in half a month. But if you enjoyed today's video and you want to see what's in store for week 3, go ahead and give this video a thumbs up. Click that subscribe button. Do not forget to check out the description box below for information on Scrintal and to get that 10% discount, especially if you are wanting to try digital storyboarding. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you all in my next video. Bye.